Um, Miss Namajunas, we are here once again. How are you feeling ahead of UFC 261 and a shot at gold once again in the UFC?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. It's been a long training camp, and it's been, I would say, like 99% immaculate as far as just my growth and my preparation. It's been amazing. So, yeah, just being here is pretty cool.
How excited are you with fighting in front of fans again this weekend? Because it's a unique one. We've been a year behind closed doors. 261 in Jacksonville. They're opening the doors and the fans are going to be in there. So the atmosphere is back for you.
Yeah, that's definitely that's going to add some intensity to the whole situation. It's pretty already intense as it is. So, but I just, focus on myself, focus on controlling my emotions and staying present in the moment and do what I do. This is the fans are what make this whole experience the complete package, the complete experience. So, I'm looking forward to it and embracing it completely.
We've spoken in the past about your first title reign, um, and the expectation of being champ and the realization of being champ being very different things, of which you've experienced. What things did you learn from that point, which you are confident now will maybe make your second stint, if that happens at the weekend as champion, a little bit more enjoyable for you?
Yeah, just remembering to stay present in the moment at all times and just focusing on the task at hand, um, not worrying about the destination so much or the result, just being grateful for every experience, every moment, and just taking one step at a time. That's really the key to everything. That's the key to this fight. That's the key to life.
Does Rosner and Eunice want to be champion? We were told at the back end of last year that you don't fancy it no more.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, that's what I would want. We all want things in life that we can feel conflicted sometimes, but of course, would I want that? Yes. But at the at the end of the day, ultimately, it's what God wants, and that's what I'm down for. And the fight will be the ultimate test, and we'll see.
What did you make of Dana's comments at the end of last year when he was saying that maybe you didn't want to compete for UFC gold again?
I think maybe he made that statement because I've been offered the fight, the title fight a lot, like immediately off of when I lost the belt. But I wasn't ready at that time. So maybe that's why he was making those comments. And that's kind of the last thing that he remembers. But, it's not like he was talking to me extensively. And I think he just made a quick assessment. And that's kind of maybe that's where that came from. I don't know. I could see how the surface, that's kind of what your quick evaluation of the situation is. But I mean, the more you talk to me, the more you realize I'm a complicated person.
Let's talk about this fight then at the weekend, obviously with Weili. You've recently given an interview to Lithuanian media. We'll start there. What's your reaction to the reaction off the back of what you said in that conversation?
My reaction is that, of course, the media spins everything, the way I didn't intend it. It wasn't intended to be a personal attack towards Weili. I don't know her as a person. I'm sure she's great. But all I was referencing was the other Dream Team documentary, and that's really it.
Do you regret it? Do you regret saying in like you say, in that sometimes things get spun in a direction that you didn't necessarily intend things to get spun into? So therefore, now looking back at it, do you regret it or not?
Why would I regret it?
Just with the way that it has been portrayed publicly, and
but that's not my that's not within my control. That's other people's problem, and if they want to spin it that way, that's definitely not something that I can control.
Fair comment. What does she bring? What difficulties does she bring to you this weekend in the Octagon?
She's very I think just well-rounded as an athlete. She's very strong. As much as we might be different, we're very similar in the sense where I've heard her say and her corner say, and even just from watching a little bit, she tries to use when she fights other people, she'll use their strengths and try to best them at that, or use it, as well in the fight. And so that's something, when I see her do that, I see myself, because I actually do that with all my opponents. Supposedly whatever my opponent is good at, I end up excelling at. So that's probably the biggest thing that I'm excited to see. What is it she's going to try to best me at, and her determination and all those things. She's got millions of reps of, kind of the same thing. She's very disciplined and consistent. And so those are the type of things that I've really focused on this camp. My discipline and my consistency in the past have been something that has been more of a challenge. And so that's really something that I focused on. And I'm really proud of myself for the discipline and consistency that I've developed.
No, absolutely. Do you look into maybe past opponents that you've both experienced? And I suppose a lot of fans will automatically look towards Joanna. Last year, Weili fought Joanna, and it was high level, rock'em sock'em robots. It was a war. Whereas your fights, I mean, obviously you finished Joanna in the first one, and then it's like you've just said, you put on a clinic in that second one. It was a lot. I don't want to say easier, because that's disrespectful. It's not easier. It was a more clinical performance from your point against that opponent. Do you take any confidence from that?
Yeah, I mean, there's confidence from that. Definitely, like the whole statement of styles make fights. That's a pretty deep statement, and it's true. So, in isolated kind of context, I look at, what happened in this situation versus what happened in my situation. I mean, because we both fought Andrade as well, and those were, 3 different fights altogether. So, I definitely take certain little confidences in certain contexts, but overall, I understand that there's so many variables and there's so many different things that you can overanalyze. And so at the end of the day, yes, do I look at those things? But my real confidence comes from within. It comes from my preparation, and though that is what matters most.
Is she your toughest fight to date, do you think?
Yes. Yeah. I would say every fight is my, next biggest fight, and, always the next toughest fight. But yeah, she does. But on top of that, she is, the most, I would say she has probably the most experience other than maybe Andrade. And she's, her physicality, her mentality, her, kind of her, desire for perfection and all these things. She's proven, as a champion. She's beat Weili. I mean, she's beat Joanna and all these things. So, I mean, yeah, her on paper, she is my toughest opponent.
You may have seen on social media over the last 24 hours that Joanna has been making comment on the fight of the weekend, and she says that she wants the winner of you two. Is that something that you would be interested in, seeing as that you've got 2 victories already over her?
I mean, I'm always down, at the end of the day. I'm sure that's something that the fans would want to see. And, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I definitely, there's definitely many different options on the horizon, I think, going forward. But obviously, Weili is present.
Absolutely. I've got 2 more for you. And I want your opinion on the another title fight that's on, obviously, at the weekend, because I know that you've been in with Jessica, and I know that you've trained at some point with Valentina. How do you think that one plays out?
I see Valentina winning this fight, and the biggest thing that Andrade has to watch out for is, that left body and head kick that she throws, and then also, I mean, Valentina's clinch. She's the strongest person that I've ever felt in the clinch, as far as just when she commits to something, she's, when she grabs you, it's intensity the whole time. Whereas Andrade, she can surprise you. So I think that's kind of the difference between the two. So as long as Valentina is ready for the surprises, she should win. But you just can't sleep on Andrade, because at any moment she can connect with something, or she can kind of pop her head out at a weird moment or grab a guillotine. So she's very explosive and can surprise.
Should be a good fight. Looking forward to it. My final question comes in 2 parts for you. All right. Now, Mr. Mike Tyson says that you're walking through her at the weekend. My first part of the question is, what's it like having Mike Tyson as a fan of your work? And second thing, how do you think it plays out?
Yeah. I think it's pretty awesome. I think when I first read the article, I thought that was also spun in a little bit out of context when they kind of summarized his words. I mean, he definitely was giving me compliments and things like that, but I think it was more just focused on me. I don't know if he was talking about like, I'm going to just steamroll Weili. I think it was sort of exaggerated, but I think it's amazing. I love Mike Tyson. I think he's awesome. He's been to the moon and back. And so just in life in general, not just combat sports. So that is amazing. And definitely. And what was the second question?
How do you think it plays out? What will the fans expect at the weekend? How do you think this fight plays out?
I see myself just performing, putting on a performance of a lifetime. And when I do my best, I am the best. And that's, confidence, conditioning, composure, content. I'm a champion. I'm going to punch her face, take her back, and choke her out. And that's always the game plan going forward. So that's what I'm focused on.
Rose, it's great to speak to you in this frame of mind. We're looking forward to the fight at the weekend. Thank you so much for giving up some of your time this afternoon to speak to us. Go well, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you at the weekend.
Thank you so much.